Welcome to Over 40 Living Epic Lives Facebook group. And today we are doing part of the Fresh Start Summer Series with Cheryl and friends. So you see here, we have a collection of amazing speakers that are going to be coming out and talking to us. And all of these people have been featured in TV, media, and they're here to share with us some amazing ways to start over, to create a fresh start this summer. Oops, I jumped ahead here. All right, so today we have Maddie Sparkles. She is an intuitive healer and a transformational empowerment coach. Today, she's going to be showing us 5 steps to starting fresh and living your most magical life. So she's going to be going over the mental aspects. So we're going to believe it before we see it. She's going to go over the physical aspects so that you can practice self-care. She's going to go over the emotional aspects, and she's going to encourage you to release any doubt. Then we'll talk about the financial aspects, and we're going to celebrate our wins. And then finally, she's going to go over the spiritual aspects of starting fresh. And she's going to highlight the fact that we all have a guardian angel. So today you're going to learn how she has overcome some of her biggest struggles and turned them into a magical life. She'll be covering these 5 ways, and I can't wait to bring her out. So before I bring her out, let us know, are you watching live or on replay? And if you will, drop a comment down below and give us one takeaway throughout this talk today. We'd love to hear your feedback on what Maddie is talking about. All right. So Maddie, come on out.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We love having you here. We're so excited to have you come on board. So our topic, our series that we're doing is the Fresh Start Summer Series with Cheryl and friends. And our goal here is to help everyone create a brand new start for this summer. Many of us are just now starting to get outside, starting new things with the COVID restrictions starting to be relaxed, especially like for us in California. I think they just lifted the mask mandate just a few weeks ago. So we finally started to get back to normal. So exactly. So during this past year, we all have been through many things. We've been through many challenges, many changes. Our group is called Over 40 Living Epic Lives. So many of the people in this group obviously are over 40, but many of them are entrepreneurs, and many of them have started new careers. Many of them have maybe gotten married, gotten divorced, been through, an enormous amount of challenges over the past year. And so we can't wait to hear your take on creating a magical life, because this time last year, probably no one believed that a magical life could exist, right? Now we believe it. Things are starting to open back up. So if you will, before we get into the topic today, could you tell us a little short intro, again, what you do?
Sure, Cheryl, and thank you so much for having me today or tonight. So I'm Madeleine P Wober, aka Maddie Sparkles, America's Scottish Sparkle, and I help people connect to their internal light so that they can release their fears and step into their power so that they can live a truly magical life.
That's so beautiful. I love the way that just rolls off the tongue. That was beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into today's topic. So you and I had the opportunity to talk beforehand, and I learned about some of your biggest struggles. Now, there are many people in this group who are trying to start something new. So could you tell us about when you had that major challenge in your life where you had that career change, and it was a drastic change? So go ahead,
Yes.
take it away.
Yes, I've had actually a few drastic changes with my career, with my life, that have all actually boiled down to health. And that's why it's so important to listen to your body. Like if your body's trying to tell you something, like relax, slow down, take a rest. We so don't want to do that a lot of the time, especially if we are on a path that we're really actually quite enjoying or we're wanting to progress. The last thing we want to do is take time out. Well, I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. So, way back in my 30s, I was I was beginning an acting career. I was living in New York City. I was going to drama school. I was really excited about that whole prospect. It was like a dream come true. And it was probably like about the end of the second year when I was getting ready to graduate and going out and meeting directors and agents, and I was home for the summer in Scotland, where I'm from, and I went for a medical, and it turned out that I had ovarian cancer, and I was really in the headspace of the show must go on. I have to do this play. I've been really rehearsing it. Nothing's going to get in the way. And so I was advised by the doctors not to do this play that I'd been rehearsing for, because they told me there's a chance that you might drop on the stage. You might actually just drop. And I just ignored it and I didn't want to hear it. So I did the play, it went well, and then as soon as that was over, my body like really like broke out. I was really weak, and I just my whole system like completely broke down. And I went back to Scotland and I had the first of three surgeries for ovarian cancer. And I really, when I was in hospital at that time, I thought to myself, I wonder if I'm not supposed to be an actor, because here I am, I've been following this dream and I'm here in the hospital and there's nothing I can do about it. So I just kind of left it to fate, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to have to believe that whatever's happening, whatever's meant for me, what's for me won't go by me. And so that's when that happened. I went with it. I decided, you know what, I can't go back to New York. It took me a while to heal after the surgery, and I didn't go back to New York. And so that was the first big kind of like, oh, no, we don't want you to go in that direction. We want you to go you in this direction. And when I say we, I'm very connected to angels and I feel like I've always been guided, but I'll tell you more about that later. And so that was one time, a big thing. And then, there was a one before that. The one before that, the other big one was when I was in my 20s, that I was at university and I had a placement. I was actually working in IKEA for a while, and that was part of my placement for university. And I don't even think I've told you this before, but I was really going through some major anxiety and depression at the time. And I was working in IKEA, and one day I just had this like one-off blackout. I had this like it was almost like it felt like an epileptic fit, but I'm not epileptic. I was just completely out of control. And after that, when that happened in public in front of all my colleagues and everyone was gathering around me, it was like my worst nightmare. And there's nothing I could do about it at the time. And again, I was in the middle of my university degree in England. And so again, at that time, I ended up having panic attacks for 2 years after that. And it was a real, like, the universe saying, you need to take care of yourself. You need to listen to your heart. You need to follow your joy, because you're not doing that. You're like going through the motions of doing what other people want of you and expect of you, and you're not listening to yourself. So that was the message that I got afterwards, that I realized this is why this happened. And then fast forward into my now, like, well, I'm going to be 50 next year, but about four years ago, I was for the before the pandemic, I was working for 5 years in a company in California in the video game industry in a pretty high powered position, and I was full steam ahead, and I was finding it harder and harder to keep up with the work that I was given, even though I'd been really successful before that and bringing in millions of dollars for this company. It was the video game industry, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the clients, but there was something that wasn't right in my body, and I could feel it. And I just thought, I need to get this checked out. So when I went back to Scotland again, it's funny, I keep going back to Scotland when the medical stuff comes through, because it's free there, it's
Yeah.
cheaper. So anyway, it's just the way it worked out in timing. And So I went back to Scotland, and it turned out that I was diagnosed with MS. So multiple sclerosis, it has different effects on different people. I personally have not been really identifying with it. I've been really focused on healing myself, not taking medication, really trying to live as healthily as I can. And so to see me, you probably wouldn't know there was anything wrong. But if we were out on a hike together, you'd be able to tell that I can't keep up.
Yeah.
So, and I started telling people more and more about that and just being very transparent. But that was the third time in my life, a big, like, we are. We're putting, like, the universe is showing you, Madeleine, you need to stop and you need to really take a breath and listen to your body and start taking action on making healthy decisions for yourself. So these are just three of the big ones that I can remember.
Oh my gosh, those are three huge ones, huge. Okay. So what I love is that you figured out you must listen to your body. And as one gets older, I'll speak for myself, when we get over 40 and over 50, sometimes we're like, it's just, I'll just attribute it to maybe getting older. It's not really that big of a deal. And especially men, they put going to the doctor off. And
Mm.
many of us discount when we're getting signs to listen to our body. So I'm so glad that you did that. Now, I want to take a pause for a second. We've got some people saying hello. Kim says hello. Michelle is watching. Christina Scott Hazelbush is here. Jay is here. Thank you, Jay. And Jay says his body definitely told him to slow down last year. And he also says, thank you for sharing your story.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Thanks, Jay.
Yes. So for those of you who are listening, please continue to let us know if you're watching live or on replay, and let us know where you're coming in from. And throughout this talk today, please give us a takeaway. Let us know if this is really resonating with you. It lets us know that we're providing great value to you. Okay, Maddie. So um, after these three major events in your life, and what an interesting, each one was very interesting and scary, I'm sure. So what did you do next after your last diagnosis? What was the major shift that got you to where you are today?
Oh, well, the last diagnosis was in Scotland while I was waiting for my green card to get back to America. And so I knew I was coming back to a job. And I was with this company, as I said, for about 5 years. And when I came back after my waiting in the UK for my green card, I already knew that this is not really for me. I've been doing it for the last 4 years. I've got another year to go. They're sponsoring me, which is a whole amazing story in itself. Maybe another time I can tell you about that. Um, and I ended up coming back to America knowing that I don't know how long I can last. My fingers aren't typing as fast as they used to. I'm not really able to even hold the phone for too long. I was like working not with a headset, but with a phone in the office. And also, I was in an office for 8 hours, Monday to Friday, which is so not my personality. And I know that you know this, but
Yes.
this was just like, it was just everything about it, even the culture of the company that I was working with. I knew even from the beginning when I first started this job, the job itself was easy for me because I'm a connector. I'm a natural born salesperson. So the actual getting the money in for them and getting the contacts and making connections was easy for me. But the whole idea of being able to actually keep up with the pace and really do what I needed to do, it was getting harder and harder, and I couldn't ignore it. And I just felt like I'm meant to be going on to trade shows like 3 or 4 times a year. All of these different things were happening, and I just knew the time was coming. So I eventually decided, I said, look, this is not working for me. I actually have a diagnosis and I really need to move on. And so we parted ways, and I always wanted to leave on good terms, and we did. And I was very, very grateful for that. They got me here in the country. And so then that was November 2019. And the day after I left them, which was a Friday, the next day I started a part-time job, and that was working in Costco as a brand ambassador selling turmeric, liquid turmeric and liquid CoQ10, which I was actually very excited about that because I was taking them and they were really helping me and giving me more energy and just helping me feel much better. So I thought, I can do this. This is great. So I was doing that for about 3 months, which took me to about March 2020. And then, of course, and I was doing really well with that and loving it and meeting people and just sharing this amazing product, which I still take because I love it. There's a wee shout out for liquid CoQ10 and liquid turmeric if anyone needs it, you
Yeah.
know. And then yeah, and then we were furloughed because of the coronavirus.
Mm.
So I stopped doing it. And funnily enough, I had way more energy doing that than I did sitting down. I mean, I was on my feet all day. Well, not all day, maybe 6 or 7 hours, but I was on my feet. I did it 3 days a week. And I had a lot more energy doing that than I did sitting at a desk for 8 hours making phone calls and typing emails all day. So that was also very interesting to me. I was like, oh, maybe my body is not as depleted as I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got something to do with my energy and my focus and doing things that bring me joy. That is
Yes.
a Right? I'm getting goosebumps as I talk
Yes.
about it. They're like, yes, yes, that's the reason.
Yeah.
So that has been a huge deal for me with I feel it. I feel it in my body. Like we can heal ourselves. We're connected, mind, body, and soul. And in my experience, I've always felt that the illnesses or the diseases that I've had to deal with have been a very closely connected to my emotional state at the time. So for the cancer, it was very much about harboring resentment and feeling a bit angry in life and feeling misunderstood. And that was like in my 30s. In my 20s, I remember just feeling totally alone. Like I'd felt alone for a long time in my childhood. And I felt like that was probably a big part of my anxiety and my depression.
Mhm.
And then my MS, I think, was just, again, a culmination of you're not listening to your body, you're not taking care of yourself, and you're actually really miserable at this job that you're making a good job of it. But is this really you? Is this really you? Is this speaking to your heart and your soul? It wasn't. So I took the good bits. I really enjoyed what I did. I made good money, but it just wasn't making me happy. And it came out again in my body.
Yes.
And one of my favorite quotes in life is from Andrew Matthews, and it's when you get better, the game gets bigger.
Yes.
So each time I was getting better at navigating my way through life, I was like, oh, there's an aha moment. Oh, I've learned this. Oh, that's what my body's saying. And then it would get bigger.
Yeah.
So it went from depression and anxiety to ovarian cancer and to then, multiple sclerosis. Each decade, a different thing. And for me, I've always been very positive and looking at the silver linings in life. Well, since my anxiety, I had to analyze every thought and I had to really look for the positives for a while. But I've always felt like there's a gift in every single challenge. And if it's a big challenge, it's a bigger gift.
Yeah.
So as you get better, the game gets bigger. And that, I love that. It makes me feel really, really good and really accomplished. It's like, you know what? I can handle it. Bring it on.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Oh gosh, I could talk to you for hours. And by the way, to those of you who are watching, we're going to try our best to keep this around 30 minutes. We'll see. But it's so exciting to talk to Maddie. So we're going to do our best. Michelle says, hello, ladies. Maddie's story is magical indeed. And she's saying absolutely to everything that you're saying. And Jay says he learned a hard lesson about the connection between your emotions and how you feel emotionally, or sorry, physically. And
mm,
I'm so glad that you talked about how when we are harboring different stresses throughout our body, it causes symptoms. And many people do not realize that harboring old emotions, that does contribute to different ailments in the body. And when we can learn to find the gift or the blessing in every event that happens to us in life, we can release that. And then we get healthier. And then we
yes.
become inspired. And I love how you kept trying different careers, different things until you found something that lit you up. And that's what this group is all about, is encouraging others to try something new. If you're feeling unmotivated, if you're feeling like life is just knocking you in the gut again and again, find something else. Go through the window when the door shuts. And the list goes on and on. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
I just realized I didn't complete the question, but maybe you're going to ask me what I did next. You actually said,
Yes,
what did you do next? And I never got to it.
I'm
But
so glad. Yes, we are going to ask you what you did next.
yeah,
Let's see. Oh, Alba says, remember to play after every storm. This is a quote by Maddie J.T. Stefanek. Remember to play after every storm. That's so
oh,
true.
I
So
love
true.
that. I love
Yes,
that. Oh my
yes.
goodness. So you're talking about change and you're talking about moving into doing something totally different. So all like in 2010, I decided to become a professional certified life coach with a real focus on empowerment, because I always wanted to make people feel great about themselves. And so after I left the Costco job because it shut down because of the virus, I was meditating one day, and I meditate every morning, and I was meditating one day and I got this aha moment, or this like message to say, why don't you, this is really what you need to do. Have you thought about, or why don't you, it might have probably sounded more like you need to, combine your coaching with spirituality to really fully help people. And so when I actually came out of that meditation, I was thinking, oh my goodness, maybe I can use my angel cards and my connection to angels to help people really get deeper answers to their life's challenges. Maybe that's something that if we can ask the angelic realm, or maybe just get some guidance from the universe, universal wisdom, not just going online and maybe not even seeing a shrink or a therapist. Maybe there's something else that can be helped here. So I then thought, okay, I'm going to put a post on Facebook. I'll put it out there. I'll do it for free for 6 weeks. We'll see how we get on. And I'd never done it for strangers. I'd only ever done it for myself or for family. And even then, it was like I wasn't 100% sure that I could definitely do this. So but then, of course, when you're connected and you get your ego, you get out of your ego and you just trust, things just totally unfold for you. So I put the post on Facebook, and suddenly all these different people were contacting me from all over the world, Thailand, Africa, India, Israel, all over Australia, New Zealand, all over Europe, all over the UK. And they were like, yes, I'd love a reading. And so I did these readings for 6 weeks. And the only thing I said to them was, if you enjoyed it, then please just leave a review, because
Yes,
then that will help me feel good about it and other people will see what your experience was.
yes.
So the reviews started coming in and they were really, really humbling. I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you had this experience. And so then that continued. And I was absolutely loving it. And I could feel myself. I could feel my body like waking up and feeling. I've got a crystal in my
Yes,
hand. Not
yes,
that I'm woo woo or eccentric or
yes.
anything. Um, but I could just feel this like energy in me, this vitality that was like rushing through me, and from connecting with the angels, helping other people, men, women, teenagers, all ages, all backgrounds. Not religious. This was not religious. It was purely spiritual. And some people didn't even believe in angels and or believe in anything, but they were just like, I'm curious and I want to know if you can help me. And so it was all different things like, what's my purpose? Do I go back to work? What about my finances? What about my health? What about my marriage? All these different topics, even sometimes about deceased loved ones. So I was just kind of like being there, holding the space, pulling cards, and also offering help from my empowerment coaching, like different exercises and tools that they could use. And after 6 weeks of doing that, I then was meditating and I got another message, and it was like, okay, time to move into a business. This is something you need to offer the world and you need to take it seriously, because can you see that there's value here? And I was like, yes, yes, there is. There's value here. So today, this is like, a year and a half later, this is what I'm doing. And I'm so excited because it's growing from strength to strength,
It
you
totally
know?
is. It totally
It's
is. Who would have ever known, when you were in the doctor's office all those years ago, three different diagnoses. I mean, who would have ever known that you would be right here, like helping all these people? And for those of you watching, Maddie is very much in demand, and everyone raves about her who gets a reading from her. Okay, so let's pause there for a second. Michelle says, yes, Cheryl, and let's not forget about the correlation between the environment we are into. That is true. The environment causes different stresses and the different things in the air and our water and so forth. Now, you talked about healing our body, healing ourselves. So in this talk today, I mentioned to everyone that you're going to share with us 5 different points, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually.
Yes.
So should we dive into those now? And by the way, we're already at 30 minutes. So if you're cool with going a little longer, I'm cool with going a little longer. All right. And
I am. I don't know
cool.
about if everyone else is, but I'm happy to
Yes.
keep going for a wee while.
Excellent. And those of you who are on, please again, let us know if you're watching live or on replay. And also let us know a takeaway. Many of you are already giving us great takeaways, so please continue to do so. All right, Maddie. So now tell us, let's dive in maybe with the mental aspects, maybe
Yes.
visualization. Okay.
Yes. So 5 top tips. First one, mentally. Believe it before you can see it. I mean, Abraham Hicks talks about this all the time. It's kind of law of attraction-ish. But if you can visualize in your mind you at your highest self doing something that you absolutely love, maybe you're walking a different way, maybe you're talking a different way, maybe there's different people around you, but really believe that vision, believe it before you actually see it physically, because that is then going to bring it in to fruition much faster, rather than just kind of wondering, when is this ever going to happen? Am I ever going to find something that I love to do? You know, maybe you don't even know what it is, what you want to do yet, but you know how you want to feel. So visualize yourself feeling on tip top form, tip top shape, and see what that then pops into your mind. And maybe you even want to journal on that. The second one is physically, and the physically is practice self-care. So important. So again, be in nature. You get so much healing from nature. Maybe take a hot bath and take some time out to have a nap during the day if you need to. But self-care is so important. And a lot of us are always so the first people to help other people, and we make sure everyone else is fine and doing well. We need to really, really nurture ourselves as well and make sure that we are feeling really healthy for as long as possible, because then we can do what we love for longer and we can help more people. So that's the second one. Practice self-care. The third tip is emotionally, and that is release any doubt. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to do this. If I'd listened to my inner voice, my ego, I would not have put that post on Facebook, because I would have not believed that I could even do that or help anyone. So your ego will always jump in and say, there's other people doing it better than you. You're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You can't pull this off. Wait, you're not ready, right? All of these things. But if you are feeling like, I want to change, I want to do something now, I want to really step into my best self and my best life, then do it. Just go for it. Because the only thing that's holding us back are the stories that we tell ourselves in our head. So that is the third one, release any doubt. And the other thing that I like to do when that voice does appear, I'll talk to it. I'll say to my ego, listen, I've been listening to you for most of my life and it's not helping right now. So I'm going to send you on holiday to Barbados for 2 years. Go and have a nice time. Leave me alone. I'm getting on with my life and I'm doing it because this is what I want and this is what I feel is right for me. I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye. See ya. And then fourth is financially celebrate your wins. Yes. If you're not sure if you can do this, just write a whole list of all the things that you've achieved up until now, and you have achieved amazing things. And so if you write a list of that and celebrate them, maybe talk about them, tell other people, celebrating is not the same as boasting. So just make sure that you are really proud of yourself. And it does help to write a list, because when you start writing a list of all the things that you've achieved, you suddenly start remembering more things. And then you're like, oh my goodness, did I really do all that? So it might be something totally unrelated to money, but abundance is abundance of ideas, support, everything, time,
Yeah.
as well as money. And you know, one of my biggest achievements, I'm also very scared of heights, and I made myself do a bungee jump when I was traveling in New Zealand. If I can do that, then you can do anything, because I am still totally scared of heights. I will never get over that. But you know what? I was totally freed, like in that moment, and for probably about 6 months I felt as light as a feather. It was amazing. So we can always do something really out there that we don't think we can do. That's just a really good thing to know. And then the fifth one is spiritually. We all have a guardian angel, whether you believe in it or not. And it's been with us from the moment we're born until the moment we leave our body. And it is free help. So I really invite you to talk to your guardian angel. You can do it inside your mind, you can do it from your heart, or you can say it out loud. But just ask your guardian angel, please help me feel more courageous today. Please help me find it easy to tidy my house. Whatever it is you need, the angels will help you with anything that you need if you ask them. They'll not intervene if you don't ask. So just make sure that you ask them. And then actually you can even say, show me a sign, let me know, or let me feel you, let me feel that you're around me. And then just let it go and just see how your day unfolds. So if you've never tried that before, try it. For those that do it, they know what I'm talking about because it's very obvious when the angels are around you. So
Yes.
these are my 5 tips, Cheryl.
Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. I wish, I know there's going to be a lot of people hitting the replay button because those were golden. Okay. Alba says, this is wonderful. Would love to get a kid version of this for my students. Pretty cool. I'll connect you
Definitely.
too. I'll connect you
Oh, I
too.
love that.
Yes. Lori says hello. She's coming in from St. Louis. Uh, let's see. Oh, Michelle Jackson says, my takeaway is to just do it. It's so true.
Yes.
Let's see. And Lori says hello to both of us. Now, in those 5 tips, it's so funny how you mentioned um, sending the thoughts on vacation. Can you circle back and expand on that? Because that is something that I sometimes tell my clients as well, is to almost like imagine that you're taking that thought out of your brain and you're setting it on the table and you're going, sit, be quiet. Now let me get back to doing my things. I'll talk to you later. So tell us a little bit about sending that thing, that emotion or that thought on vacation.
Well, number one, it's just much easier when you separate yourself from the thought because most people, well, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm sure many people think that they are their thoughts or whatever they're thinking about in their head is who they are. It's like I've heard this before because I do a lot of spiritual studies as well. It's like see with the eyes behind the eyes. Like who is it that's looking through your eyes? Hear with the ears behind your ears. What is it and who is it that's hearing this stuff? So there's something, you're a soul and your soul houses your body. And this also comes back to you're much, much greater than your physical body. Your physical body is the body you have this lifetime. And with that comes all the manifestation, the ability to create, the ability to connect. And with that comes the thoughts and the ego and what it is to be human, which is not always easy. In fact, it can be very difficult a lot of the time. But we can change our focus and we can take control of what we want to focus on and we can choose to follow the joy. That's not to dig your head in the sand and ignore the negativity or not the negativity, the trauma or the difficulties out there in the world, because there are many. But you can also look for what's this trying to teach me? What's this trying to show me? And you can really just use yourself for the greatest good and to be a vehicle, be a vessel, so that everything that you're learning, everything that you're experiencing is coming through you and it's teaching you more about loving yourself so that you can then love others and really connecting so deeply because we're here to enjoy ourselves. We're here to enjoy life. We just have all these challenges. And I'll quickly add that I remember a while ago hearing that if we were all of us here right now at a dinner party and we all put our problems into the center of the table, then each one of us would choose our own problems back after hearing everyone else's because you are only given whatever you can deal with. And so to you, the things that I've been through might seem insurmountable or, oh my goodness, how could you have dealt with that? Or how can you be so positive after dealing with all these things? But that's my path. And what you've been through, Cheryl, and other people listening, that's your path. But we're all here. We all need each other. We're all here to learn from each other. And that's why these things happen. The only reason you have a challenge is because you exist and you're here. The only reason why you desire something in the world is because you exist and you are here. If you weren't here, that desire wouldn't be here and that challenge wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So there's something much bigger than us that's happening around us all the time. So the ego, I can say, you know what? You're not me. I'm not you. You're a part of me and I can put you aside and I can talk to you. And when I do that every time, it separates me from that and I see it more clearly and I can separate myself and not feel bad about myself for having these thoughts or believing what the thoughts are telling me.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Maddie, I tell you, I bet you everyone who watches this is going to be so fired up. You got goosebumps on my arms. I feel like I'm ready to conquer the world. You are so in alignment. I can just feel it. You're doing exactly what you should be doing in life. And for those who are watching, yes, we are connected. This is Michelle saying we are connected. It's this is what I want for everyone in this group. When you find that thing that lights you up, you can't stop talking about it. It makes you so happy. And it doesn't matter if it happens to you at 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old. Keep going until you find that thing that lights you up and makes you want to conquer the world. I love this. I love it.
Oh my, I have to say something else to
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
that is that, I've met so many people in their 70s and 80s that have more energy than people in their 20s. So age has got nothing to do with it. If you're one of these people that feels like age is a hindrance or you're getting older, I've been so excited for the last decade to turn 50. I'm so excited about it because I feel like this is like my life is just beginning. Like I'm everything that I've got done, everything that I've experienced, all the life lessons and all the different careers, everything that I've done has led me to this moment. And because I'm so in alignment right now, all these offers are coming in from all over the world. I've been invited to run my Living Magically retreat in Italy next summer for 5 weeks. And there's things that are happening all the time, every day. And it's effortless because I'm just showing up. I'm just really staying in my joy and loving what I'm doing. And that's not to say that I don't have a bad day. Like I definitely have days where I wake up and I don't want to get out of bed. That's because I'm human. But I'm much quicker at turning it around and really understanding where that's coming from, and that that's not the real me. The real me, the real you, is that beautiful, bright, sparkling light within you. That really beautiful place that we can call home, that we can find when we meditate or get still. That's the truth of who you are, not your thoughts.
Wow. Mic drop. I love it. Okay, we have a few more comments. Lori says that is very interesting about the ego. Being able to separate from it is very empowering. Lori's already asking, where can we find your retreat? Don't you worry. I have some slides I'm about to show you guys where you can find Maddie. And Alba just said, oh, she just joined the 50 Club. So she's so glad to hear that, what you just said. And Lori also says, I definitely believe in angels. I cannot tell you how many times they have helped me. Yes. All right. And Michelle says, all the challenges were by design for such as a time like this. Yes, it's so true. So true, Michelle. Okay. So I'm going to show some slides on how each and every one of you can get a hold of Maddie. And then Maddie, when we come back, you can say any last closing statements. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oops, here we go. All right. So for those of you who would like to get in touch with Maddie, we have her info right here. And you can find her at maddiesparkles.com. You will also see here her Linktree address. And not to worry, we're going to put all of this in the comments section if you cannot write this down. You can also find Maddie on Instagram. And I do encourage you to ask Maddie about her magical luxury Italian retreat. So maybe when we come back on camera, Maddie, you can say a little bit about that since Lori is asking. Now, for those of you who may not remember all these links and you can't find it later on, just go to CherylBroughton.com/guests. And you're going to see each and every guest that has come on this summer, and you will see all their contact information. All right. So just a reminder, you can get a copy of my book by going to Amazon. You can search Your Epic Encore. You can get the printed version, or right now I have the digital version on sale for $1.99. You can also go to CherylBroughton.com for coaching or signed copies of my book. So thank you again, everyone, for being here today. Don't leave just yet. We're going to come back to Maddie. And if you will, again, let us know one takeaway. All right. So I'm going to turn your camera back on. Let's see. All right, Maddie, you can turn your camera back on. There we go. Cool.
What was on? I can't see you. Here we go. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, Maddie, any closing statements you would like to give us? But before you do, tell us quickly about that retreat. We've got a couple people who are asking about it.
Sure. Okay, so 10 is for women only, unfortunately, just women. And it's 10 each week for 5 weeks from May the 29th until July the 2nd. And there will be a beautiful, luxurious, exclusive time in the town of Sabianeta. And it will be we'll be incorporating visiting different cities like Milan, Verona, Venice, Florence, Pisa. Really exciting. Going out and about and seeing these places, having sacred circles in some of these places, using the angelic realm as well. I'll be doing lots of different meditations, guided visualizations to meet your guardian angels. I'll be doing card pulls for the circle for the whole and individually, and also working on some incredible transformational empowerment sessions as well to really help you really find your inner sparkle and really walk into that power and step into that power, which I'm really excited about. All the while eating incredible food and being surrounded by incredible nature as well. So it's going to be wonderful, and I'm happy to answer any more questions if you have any.
Awesome, awesome. Yes. Well, thank you everyone for stopping by today. I know you have been enlightened by our lovely guest, Maddie. Please get a hold of her. I'll put her contact information. Actually, I will do that right now. Let's
I
see.
can leave you with a quote that I really love.
Yes, please do that.
Is actually in my book, Sprinkles of Glitter, Your 12-Month Guide to a Sparkling Year.
Yes.
And it is this quote by Iyanla Van Zandt, which I absolutely love, and it helped me when I was traveling around Germany years ago. And it's saying, just when things look like they're falling apart, they're actually falling into place.
Oh, I love that. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to put I put one of your contacts, the retreat. I put that link in the comments, but I will do the others in just a second. And for those of you who are watching, thank you again for being here. Please let us know a takeaway if you have not done so already. Thank you, Maddie. I know they're going to ask to have you back again. This was wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I've absolutely loved talking to you, and thank you everyone for listening and for your feedback. It's been so lovely.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And to everyone here, as you know, I always sign out this way. Never ever forget, it's never too late for your epic encore.
Yeah.
You guys, bye.
Bye.